Whopper. The time is now.
NUFC Undisputed.
With Christy American Mad and Derek the Mighty Win. NUFC Talk Radio, the voice of the Toon Army.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to NUFC Talk. We are live once again here in 10:30 in the UK with Mighty Win. What's up, Mighty Win? How you doing?
No, not bad. Still can't get used to these early mornings, to be fair, but that's just the way it's going to be for the time being.
Right, man. That is right. Don't forget to smash the like
miserable button. Outside. Miserable here in the northeast of England. Well, at least it is where I am.
What do you mean? Is it rainy?
It's drizzly, horrible, grey, dark. Typical November morning in the Toon.
Typical day in Newcastle.
But we're going to sunny it up.
That's right. We'll talk about PSR. That's the main topic of discussion today. A few articles, especially one that I read, why Newcastle will vote yes to controversial new spending rules. You got something to say, of course, as well. So we'll take a look at that and go from there. Of course, any news that come up at any moment given time, give us a shout, and we will keep an eye on all that stuff, of course. Lewis Hall spoke, by the way, as well. He's in line to return to Newcastle's 11 on Saturday. He said, if anything, the injury has made me more hungry and given me an extra bit of desire to get back to the levels that I was last year. I have confidence in my ability to get into the World Cup squad, so we'll see if he has enough for that. Obviously, still a lot of time. And I mean, you would assume he's going to play. So that, based on that, he should have enough time.
I think he's definitely playing on Saturday, like with Dan Byrne suspended.
Well, definitely, yeah. That's right. Being forced, but at least that's what's going to happen. Shout out to everyone in the chat, of course. Join us. Don't forget to smash the like button. Shout out to everybody out there we see on the live chat on YouTube. Darren Lee, top of the morning to you all. He says Darren Lee is like waiting for Stranger Things season 5 to start this. There you go. Appreciate it. Morning says McBingley.
Something else I've never watched.
Oh man, you gotta watch. Good morning, Jordy Dan in the building as well. Lim Simpson in the house as well. Not a good morning in the UK, huh? It's a bit dodgy, the weather. That's dodgy. That's to expect anyway. It's to expect anyway. So yeah. It is what it is. Before going to any of that, I actually had a clip yesterday that I wanted to show, but I didn't have time to. But it has to do with an interesting topic of England, because Craig Hope was involved in this. And he had reported and also made an opinion on Jude Bellingham. Obviously, Craig Hope reports about England as well. And Gabi Agbonlahor came out and called out Craig Hope's criticism of Jude Bellingham after the 2-0 win over Albania. Basically criticizing the media for amplifying this and the criticism of Jude Bellingham, saying there's an agenda, this and that. Let's take a listen to the clip of this, of what happened and what he had to say, and then everybody can have their opinion on this.
But the story we're going to focus on, Gabby, is your mate Craig Hope on the back page of the Mail. And it says, Thomas Tuchel has warned Jude Bellingham that behaviour and respect are key after the England star protested against his substitution. Do we really have a problem with this? I can't understand. I've watched it. I don't think it was petulant. I don't think he didn't have any respect for Morgan Rogers. He played well. He got man of the match. He was disappointed.
He didn't play well. He didn't. He was ordinary. You know, he was ordinary.
But that doesn't change the fact that if someone's disappointed about coming off, why can't they be disappointed about coming off? It's got nothing to do with lack of respect to Morgan Rogers. But Gabby, did you think it was petulant?
No. What I thought was, people will pick a little things with Jude Bellingham. Another player does that. It's like it's not big news. Jude Bellingham didn't have one of his best games, but got player of the match. 80 minutes, he comes off, wants to play every minute. Maybe Thomas Tuchel just need to speak to him and say, listen, like, every little thing you do is going to be scrutinised. When you come off, don't be like slouched down. Maybe, do you know what I mean? Go and celebrate with your teammates. We 2-0 up. So I don't think it's a big deal. I don't think it's back page news.
No, Craig Hope said this was Jude's chance
So,
to show he can be a team man, and he failed. Oh, I think that is so unbelievably harsh.
Did you not see during the first half where Bellingham's breaking his neck to get back to a slide tackle to do his defensive duties as a number 10? That's teamwork, doing the hard yards, defending. When he gave the ball away, he was hunting it down, he was chasing keeper. That's the hard yards. But listen, sometimes you can't take people like Craig Hope seriously. You know, he's now doing a bit of Sky and stuff. Maybe the headlines have got him that little gig. So he's always had it in for Jude Bellingham. You can't take this guy seriously. Like you says, let's celebrate a top player. Little things you can do better. Yes,
of course.
Don't throw your arms up when you're coming off, or put your arms up, or slouch down. But we're forcing it a little bit now.
I
It's
agree.
like leave him alone, leave the lad alone.
Interesting there.
Not a Craig Hope fan then.
Well, he went at Craig Hope. I don't think that it's Craig Hope's job to celebrate Jude Bellingham. He might do that in his private life. He might do that. Might celebrate England and Newcastle and whatever. But it's not his job to celebrate. That's not journalism. So, and Craig Hope came out on tweeting and said that ex-players blaming the media for Jude Bellingham's behavior is like blaming the mirror for a haircut. That's what Craig Hope said. So, I mean, what do you make of this whole entire situation going on in the media about Jude? Hey, Jude.
Well, it's as we've said before, by the way, the media, it's the international break. They've got to find someone to write about, and obviously what you're going to write about, if you've got the privilege of being in the inner circle, is the internationals. So it is a story. Tuchel made it a story by publicly saying what he said. It wasn't the media making it a story. That was Tuchel's own, press conference. So then they're reporting on that, and I do think it's a bit of a mountain out of a molehill, to be fair. But as was said the other day, I mean, Bellingham, like all these top players, has got an ego. And, that's part of the reason why they are the players that they are, because they have got this ego. And so I couldn't understand why Bellingham was upset. But you're winning the game comfortably.
Yeah.
The manager's, I would say, thank you very much. As he said, did he get man of the match? I'm not sure, but
I think so. Yeah.
But if he got man of the match, what's his problem? Take a round of applause, get off the pitch after 80 minutes, whatever it was, and why complain about it, if you like?
Well, that's kind of the main thing, like why is the need to get so upset? I mean, I get it if you were in a defining game and he takes you out, you should be upset maybe if you consider yourself the best player, but Tuchel's like more or less this game is done and dusted. Let another guy come in.
I think Tuchel referred to other stuff as well, didn't he? He said he referred to the training stuff. He has to pay more attention. He can't just do what he wants. He's got to do what the training staff tell him to do. I don't know. I mean, I don't know what's going on in training. Not a clue. Neither anybody, I would suspect, because that'll be done in behind closed doors. But if Tuchel is bringing it up, then there must be something going on there for him to do that. If you're Tuchel, you're manager of England, what conceivable reason could that be for you to want to upset one of your best players?
Well, maybe he's somebody that doesn't back
unless
down.
there is something that's really worth bringing to light.
Well, yeah, I mean, you can say he could diffuse the situation, but maybe he just is not liking Jude Bellingham's attitude overall, and he decided to go out there and and give it
Yeah, well, I think that's
more,
more what it is.
a bit more detrimental as well. But I mean, it's a situation that's going to heat up and certainly going to make a lot of people talk. And I don't know. The lady there is talking about she doesn't see petulance. I do see petulance with stuff like that. And I don't know. I mean, I didn't think of Jude this way. I actually have always liked him. I even called him the best player in the world when he went to Real Madrid. Because I thought he was literally playing better than Mbappe and all of them combined. But now it seems like he's liking the attention a little too much, and that's not. I don't think that's good for football. I mean, you can see his brother Job over there in Borussia Dortmund. He's not getting any playing time. Therefore, their parents, jump in and speak to the media about it and all that. It seems like a family of players that, like to create a little bit of
But
trouble.
like I say, that's part and parcel of some of the greatest players we've ever had have had egos the size of the world.
But yeah, you can say that. I don't think I've ever heard, for example, anything of the sort with David Beckham. And I think David Beckham's father could have come out and said a few things about the way his son was treated by English fans after the sent off.
Well, he did.
The way he was treated, though, Jude Bellingham hasn't even felt that.
No.
I mean, it was criminal.
I kind of this is weird for me saying I kind of agree with Agbonlahor because he is the worst pundit on national radio by a million miles. He hasn't got a clue. However, I agree that it's somebody looking for someone to jump onto. Looking for clickbait, as I say. But as I say, it's not Craig Hope that's done that. It's Thomas Tuchel that's done that.
Yeah, because if he
I'm
had,
pretty sure if Thomas Tuchel hadn't said anything, there wouldn't be a story going round right now.
well, there you go. That's the main.
But is that a manager being an elite manager and just keeping his troops in check and saying, listen, you might think you're the bee's knees, but let me tell you, you're not, and I'll decide whether or not you are.
Well, that's I believe that's a big part of what's going on. He wants to show who's boss, and
could it be the Patriot in Jude Bellingham coming out?
Oh my God!
And saying we don't want a German managing our national side. Let's have a battle and see who wins. But on the back of eight straight wins in a perfect qualifying record, best ever. I don't think he's going to win that battle.
I highly doubt that's what's going to happen. Young players like that could care less, man. They just want to make the team. But I think it's just a battle of egos and try to see who's boss here. Unfortunately, it seems like Tuchel is not bothered too much, and he's the one that makes the list. So imagine if he doesn't go to the World Cup. But also, Tuchel knows that if he doesn't do well in the World Cup, he might be sacked. So, I mean, either way, it's about probably getting to the final or winning it. That's gonna maintain his job. I don't know, but we shall wait and see, of course, on what's going on. We got some comments about the situation. Let's get to those. Jordy Dan there. The weather is dodgier than Pope playing out the back with his feet. There you go. Graham Nichols says, anybody ever been in the Bunny Lad pub in Newcastle? It's just there's one opening in Peterlee this week. And just wondering what they're like. I've never even heard of that. But
well, I think he's probably referring to the canny lad, not the bunny lad. The canny lad, which used to be Lennon's, just down from the gate. That's the canny lad, not the bunny lad. I don't know a bunny lad in Newcastle.
Yeah. The Turby Marciano says no respect shown to his manager or his teammates. We don't need that in the squad when we've got Cole Palmer, who's arguably better than Jude, and Phil Foden too. Not even mentioning Morgan Rogers. Well, quite honestly, I don't know if they're better than him as far as football is concerned, to be honest. But to each their own. Darren Lee, Bellingham, I used to like, but he has a huge ego problem. That lad. There you go.
Listen, you're gonna get a huge ego problem.
But you can't let it be a problem, though.
Well, who says it's a problem? That's the thing.
Well,
obviously, the manager thinks it's a problem.
Yeah. If you're detrimental to the team, though, that may be an issue. But we'll see. Let's get into the big topic of PSR. Why Newcastle will vote yes to controversial new spending rules, says the I Paper and Mark Douglas, formerly a Newcastle United editor of the Chronicle. And there is a new battle cry in the corridors of power at St. James's Park. Its new CEO, David Hopkinson, builds a relentless culture of improvement. Revenue is king, says this. Newcastle United have launched a 100-day review of off-field operations, but the message is a simple one. Get deals signed off, eliminate excuses. It is just as well. Next week sees one of the most important Premier League's meetings for years as clubs are asked to vote on the most radical overhaul of spending rules for a decade. Did you know that was happening next week? I didn't know that. No, until now.
What, the vote?
Yeah.
It's this week, man. Friday.
Oh, well, this may have been written. Yeah, this was written the 14th, so there you go. So it's happening now. Profitability and sustainability rules, PSR, are on their last legs, but what comes next is unclear. Amid talk of clubs being split and potential legal action from the Professional Footballers Association, the meeting on the 21st of November has the potential to be explosive. Why'd you laugh there? What's wrong with the Professional Footballer Association?
No, not nothing at all. What I'm saying is that it's going to be yet another legal action. Because whichever way you look at it, it boils down to a restriction of trade. Because they are telling potential employers how much they can pay to potential employees. And if an employer chooses to pay whatever he chooses to pay to an employee because he thinks he's that good, then there shouldn't be any legislation to prevent that happening. If you were the best ever presenter on YouTube and a massive conglomerate came in and said, Chris, we want you to start a new YouTube channel called Talking Bollocks, and we're going to pay you £2 million a second, why should any legislation prevent them doing that if they think that by doing that it's still going to be, that they're still going to make money out of it, etc., etc., etc.?
No, I agree with that. I mean, that shouldn't be.
Well, that's all the PFA are saying. They are looking. But by the way, I did look at. There's, apart from Man United and Man City, who are threatening legal action, where was it? There's various players' agencies who are joining with them, but not exactly stellar agencies. You might see that there was a list of the potential ones. Some I just can't find it at the minute. because Gary and I were going to look at that later tonight. But if you look at the players that are represented by the three agencies involved, from memory, Cole Palmer was one, Ivan Toney, and it's of particular interest to him, of course, because if he's wanting to come back from Saudi, he wants to get paid as much as possible. And I'm trying to think who else was on. There wasn't a lot of names on the list, but they look to be big. Lots of players in their stables, but no stellar players, kind of thing.
So
I think Cole Palmer was the biggest name.
let me say, what are the systems being proposed for this meeting? Clubs will be asked to vote on three systems, three of them. The first are squad cost rules, SCR, which limits clubs to spending 85% of their revenues on wages, amortized transfer fees, and other costs associated with players' recruitment and retention. So on that particular one, we're talking about that only 85% of clubs' revenue should be spent.
And only 70% if you're in Europe.
Well, hold on. We're going to get one step at a time. Let's move on. The move to this system makes a lot of sense. UEFA already operate along these lines. And for English clubs in Europe, Newcastle are one of the 9 who ticked the box this year. They already need to comply with 70% limit. So it's still being in Europe, I guess you have to you got to stick to 70%, as you said. So 80% is not really that big of a deal if you're wanting to be in Europe anyway. The Premier League are offering more wiggle room so that the aspiring clubs who have less revenue and therefore less spending power than those in Europe can maintain competitiveness. So, what do you agree with that?
Well, on the basis that to comply with UEFA regulations, you've got to be 70% anyway. That's not it's no break at all on clubs already in Europe. And by making that 85% for the Premier League, it is giving clubs who aren't in Europe bigger spending power in order to get them into Europe. But it's all very well having the bigger spending power, but you first of all got to have the revenue to be able to spend it. And that's the problem. The problem with this proposed system, as I see it, is that clubs which have already got massive revenues are going to always be able to spend to the maximum of what's allowed, which is going to keep them where they are, and nobody else is going to be able to go above it. So you can't have another situation like Chelsea, like Man City, where somebody can come in and just put as much money as they want into it. So this is effectively preventing PIF just paying whatever, spending on Newcastle United whatever they want. Now, some would argue that's a good thing. Tim argues that's a good thing. He doesn't want us to be able to go and spend £2 billion and buy the league. He prefers it the way, and I think there's a lot of merit in that. But if you want to break the stranglehold of the top 6 and make it a truly competitive league, then there has to be some balancing of the books. But the downside of doing that is that you then make our elite clubs less powerful in Europe, for example. So all of a sudden, we wouldn't be able, the Premier League clubs would not be able to outbuy the continental clubs, which is why all of the top talent comes to the Premier League, apart from the the usual suspects. Your Bayerns, your Reals, your Barcelonas, your Juventuses, Inters. Apart from them, we've got the field to ourselves because nobody abroad can afford to compete with us. And the reason they can't is because of the revenue generated by the Premier League to give us that money to be able to outspend them. I would think all the European leagues, the top clubs in the European leagues will be rubbing their hands saying, God, I hope this goes through, because it will definitely curtail the spending power of the Premier League. And that's what globally makes the Premier League what it was. I mean, if you remember going back to the 80s, nobody worldwide watched English football. It was all Italia. And obviously in Latin America, as you would no doubt say, it would be the La Liga. But the Premier League has now got it's a giant among pygmies. And it could lose that status if these rules are introduced, because it would then suddenly allow the lesser clubs in, say, Italy, so your Milans, the Roma,
The lesser
Lazio, to be able to spend equally to us.
Yeah, but the thing is with them though, I mean, they might not be able to spend as much. I don't even think that's seeing. I don't even when I watch them or watch shows, I don't even hear them talking about that. So I don't know if it's true, if they can spend less than we do, but they certainly don't look at it as it doesn't stop them from getting players. So I mean,
But what was the Tonali story yesterday that Gaz had up?
well, yeah, I mean, that's the campaign, but to be honest, I don't think they would pay for it. I don't think they're not. It might be I don't think that they pay $100 million for players, but they still get them. So the players that they more or less want. So it's not, I never see them having difficulties to sign players. But it might be there. The general feeling is that SCR will pass fairly comfortably, and it won't be a game changer. It's rearranging the deck chairs on the Titanic, replacing PSR with SCR. Football, Kieran Maguire said that. I think somebody commented that on there. It is creating a parameter that has to be complied with, which helps the existing elite clubs. So I don't see any benefit for the likes of Villa and Newcastle in moving system, says this article. The second strand is the controversial one. Top to bottom, anchoring TBA proposes a limit on how much even the richest clubs in the league can spend, restricting them to an outlay of 5 times the amount of the bottom club in the Premier League earns through broadcast revenue and prize money. Proponents say it is necessary to maintain the competitive balance of the Premier League, as top clubs bank huge prize money from regular participation in the Champions League and potentially the Club World Cup. Critics say anchoring will restrict the ability of the Premier League's biggest clubs to compete with European rivals like Madrid, and the PFA have threatened legal action because of fears it might depress wages. Anchoring is going to prove more contentious, Maguire admits. There's a fear among smaller clubs that the continued growth of the global fan base clubs will attract greater matchday revenue, greater commercial revenue, and anchoring ignores the growth of those. I can see opposition from the likes of Man United, Man City, Liverpool. Why would you agree to a set of rules which means you can generate revenue but can't spend it? Well, it's a lot there, to be fair, and
as with anything, if ever you read a long letter or a long article or a long proposal or anything, I got a bit of advice many years ago. See, when you do that, right, what is your last line? And you read your last line, you say, right, start with that. And his last line was, Man United and the big clubs, why would they want to vote for something which allows you to generate revenue and not spend it, and not be able to spend it? Because that's effectively what it's doing. And if you start from that basis, you know, it means that the top six can always spend as much as anybody else can if they could afford it, because the top six can afford it because of their revenues, their massive revenues compared to everybody else. So why would you vote for a system which allows you to get those revenues but then not be able to spend it? It's a bit like the situation Newcastle are in now, where we've got the richest owners in the world but they can't spend it.
Well, I mean, I agree. All of this confuses the game, to be honest. I don't know that. I mean, to be honest, I don't.
Why are the Premier League looking to potentially reduce its global appeal by not having the best players here anymore? And B, why would players, and this is where the PFA come in, allow a situation to occur where they, so what I'm saying there is, it's yet another legal minefield which is going to be exploited by somebody, and it's going to be more legal fees that the Premier League are going to have to spend, etc., etc. As regards the bit you said about smaller clubs worrying about the bigger, the one good thing about the Premier League is that it's done collectively, so that if,
But unfortunately, it isn't though, because those smaller clubs, those, I don't know if they got lack of ambition or what's going on, but the majority vote in favor of keeping this type of type of rules, because I mean, like smaller clubs know they won't have the money to buy big time players or to make a lot of money. Therefore, it benefits them.
because the smaller clubs, the vast majority of the smaller clubs' revenue comes from the Premier League, prize money, and advertising. And that's all done collectively. So they are getting an equal split. Whatever money is gained in advertising revenue, which is where it all comes from, let's be honest. Wherever that advertising money, which the Premier League as an entity is raising, is then divided equally between the 20 clubs, regardless of the fact that 6 clubs might have generated 90% of it. But those other 14 clubs know that on their own, well, let's say 8 or 10 of the 14 clubs know that they couldn't generate anywhere near the 100-odd million which they're currently getting in prize money and place money. So why would you kill it? Because a lot of them have got no ambition. It's only when you get a new owner comes in, like did at Leicester, who actually wants to try and do something, and he wants to spend money in order to do a bit like Maracana's at Forest. Certainly all of the American investment in the Premier League is not geared toward being also Rans. They'll all be looking to push on. But there's a lot of clubs who are just quite happy to take when Mike Ashley was here, he's saying, fuck, I've got £100 million coming in the door. Why do I need to do anything? All I've got to do is stay here.
Well, that's the issue, because you feel like the majority will vote in favor of you, but it just turned out like the last time around that Only Newcastle, Villa, and I think Forest voted for. And I think City might have done as well. But they're
the thing is, it's irrelevant because even if it's passed, like I say, that'll be a legal challenge.
So why Newcastle are voting in favor? The iPaper understands the Newcastle are set to vote in favor of both SCR and TBA. SCR won't help Newcastle much in the short term, but it just makes sense given their work this summer was done with one eye on not breaching UEFA's 70% limit. And for TBA, there's a feeling that if you turn down some of the noise around the debate, it actually injects a bit of rationality into the market. Newcastle would almost certainly not breach the limit being talked about anytime soon either. The limit being talked about, they wouldn't breach that. In the boardroom at Newcastle, they're pretty philosophical about the changes. New rules, much like the old ones, aren't going to take the shackles off spending. It's why revenue is the club's obsession, creating more money. And why there's a new focus on signing off deals and supporting Eddie Howe to build a winning machine on the field. Stability in the dugout is seen as a key part of that. Clearly, sacking the manager will not be part of the stability, adding stability. So maybe, they're obviously leaning to not even entertain that. I don't know. But at the end of the day, it all depends on results anyway. But they're quoted here saying the rules are there to prevent this has got a French word, novo riche. I don't know what that is. Like new rich clubs,
new
like
rich.
Newcastle.
Yeah, like Newcastle.
Yeah, I still don't understand how Aston Villa are considered new rich, to be honest. I mean, they're just a club trying to. I don't know how they got no new owners. They got nothing. So
they have, haven't they?
Well, they do, but they're not like new owners.
The American owners bought another 30. This was about 6 months ago when they increased their stake.
Yeah, but I mean, it's surprising that they look at it that way anyway. Maybe they just got to add clubs so they can make it sound like there's a real threat. But I mean, American owners, it's like every other club. You would think that Saudi Arabia is more of a threat because of the overwhelming amount of wealth they have. But anyway, Newcastle and Aston Villa from competing with the existing rich, McGuire says. Newcastle benefit from a few levers they can pull, like a new stadium with more potential for corporate incoming and match-going fans. But that's not a short term, though. That's not going to happen. By the way, Barcelona just renewed their stadium. It took them about 3 years or so, 3-4 years. So somebody had said like 7 years is going to take 7-8 years to build a stadium for us. I mean, I don't know. I don't see how that works because I mean the Bernabeu was also done in a year and a half or so. And that was a rebuild, but they did a lot of it. They gutted the whole pitch and everything. So I don't see why it would take so long for us to get a new stadium. But it's not going to be in the short term. It's like a good 4 years after they decide to do it.
Just a quickie for Villa, yes, Ian. It's owned by Egypt's richest billionaire. And Nassef Sawiris and Wes Eden's American billionaire who owns, amongst other things, and he increased his stake to 32% whenever it was. I think it was about 6 months ago. And he owns Milwaukee Bucks NBA team.
Oh, yeah, the NBA team, the Milwaukee Bucks.
And V Sports he owns. No, sorry, V Sports owns 100% of Aston Villa Football Club, and V Sports is owned by 32% Wes Edens and Nassef Zawiris. So they've got plenty of money, put it like that. They're both billionaires. Not as much as PIF have got, obviously, but...
And... Let me see here. Keep going with this article. But obviously the stadium is a long-term project. When the need for growth feels immediate, fans might not want to hear it. But despite the sale of Alexander Isak, navigating financial fair play rules will also influence spending in the next few transfer windows. Some supporters have called for owners PIF to be more aggressive when it comes to challenging financial rules, but no legal challenge has been discussed or is planned. So I mean, interesting article here on this particular situation. I don't feel like there's anything immediate that can change things too much. I mean, other than the Isak sale that all of a sudden gives us, I think we got money to spend. To be fair,
I think we've got money. It's who's going to be spending it.
What do you mean? It's Eddie Howe, man. Eddie Howe and
If he's still there in January.
Well, why wouldn't he? You don't think he's going to turn things around?
Well, I think he is going to turn things around, but there's a possibility that he won't. I mean, it's going to be looking pretty. Man City's not a gimme. I fancy us, but it's not a gimme.
I don't know. You fancy us? I mean, that's pretty optimistic.
And then Everton away, not a gimme.
Well, we can.
So then all of a sudden, we could be looking at the bottom three.
Well, we have a poll on the community on the post section of our channel, and it says Newcastle versus Man City predictions. Newcastle win, Nibala, lucky draw, or Wanakad. And 54% have voted for a loss, saying that we're knackered. Lucky draw 23%, and another 23 says that we're gonna win. So there is out of 260 votes. So there is a percentage of people that think that we might win, and or a draw, but 54% say we are done and dusted. At home, I think that we might surprise with this one. We might have something to pull out of our sleeves, maybe just based on ego and attitude. We may be able to pull something off here. But again, I wouldn't lose my mind on this particular game, but unfortunately, that's the situation we put ourselves in. There's no one else to blame but us. And there you go. A few comments on this poll says it's too much average players. Isak just left, and the best you can get is Ilanga and Ramsey for 95 million. Actually, yeah, that's crazy, isn't it? 95 million on them too. But Ramsey is still. I mean, I don't see what people complain about Ramsey though. The players that he's the games that he's came in, he's done a decent job. So I don't have an issue with Ramsey. Ilanga is the problem at this moment. He's not pulling his end of the bargain.
And they're forgetting Whistler, of course, who's never kicked the ball yet.
But there you go. So he's never kicked the ball. So can you really say too much? You never know. Philip Renwick says the way we're playing, Haaland will beat us on his own. Says that comment there. I'm not sure.
The way he's playing.
Yeah, he's
on fire again.
Yeah, he certainly is. He certainly is. I think it's going to be a massive game. Lewis Hall more than likely will play, and and that stuff will happen. It's just I'm not sure. I'm not sure on what to do when it comes to this particular game. I mean, it's just do we need to do anything in January? Is the main is not a main question, but one of the questions. You see the likes of Semenyo, having a release clause of 65 million pounds release clause. You pay that and you have them. Surely we have 60 million pounds to spend.
Well, we've certainly got it. But the thing is, if you were to do that, what message are you sending to the wingers that we've got?
Why are you worrying about the message, man? You stop worrying about all that.
I don't know that I am. That's all I'm saying. You're immediately going to devalue them for a start if you come to sell them. Because people are going to say, well, if you don't think they're worth it, why should we pay it?
I don't necessarily think that's exactly what that means. You're just trying to get Semenyo, a great player, that just adding more players on top of players. Nobody says about Man City when they get all the players they want. Nobody says, "Oh my God, the other ones are not worth anything now." Oh wait, man, you're thinking too much. Get the best player, and if the players on the pitch don't like it, they play
Hey,
better.
listen, I've wanted Semenyo for a long time, but he's a great player.
A lot of teams will be in for him, clearly.
They certainly will.
But I mean, you start. His contract expires by the summer. I think. I don't think he's going to. I don't think he's going to renew. He
Well,
knows exactly.
the one reason Bournemouth will be wanting to sell him in January if they can is because his release fee drops in summer. I think it goes from 70 to 40, 60 to 40 or something.
And so, I mean, it will show a lot of ambition. You got to go out there. You got to aim high, and then work your way down. So if he doesn't want to come, then that's fine. But at least try it. I don't.
I'm not
I
sure.
don't.
No, I think I saw he signed for Bournemouth in 23. I think I saw. So Eddie wouldn't have been there when he was there last.
No, he wasn't there.
But he will undoubtedly be steeped by now in the Eddie folklore, which rolls around Bournemouth still.
Listen, I don't want to bet on that folklore whatsoever. So it's you believe in the Eddie Howe folklore, but don't believe in the Zinedine Zidane one. That's insane to me. But anyway, it's neither here nor there. Let me tell you something. If Zidane calls, what's his name? This kid, Semenyo know who he is. Trust me, he knows him very well. Again, that power pull works, baby. It works. Choppy says the salary cap should be put Europe wide, not just in the Premier League if UEFA brought it in. Darren Lee says that the salary cap will cause problems for clubs like Arsenal, Man U, or Liverpool and City, surely. Maybe so.
Chelsea
Yeah.
more than anybody.
Jordy Dan, remove any cap, block, and just crack on. Look at competing film studios. They could outspend smaller studios, but they don't. It balances out, and rules aren't needed. Ridiculous. A business can't spend. Says
That's
George.
it. So I completely agree with that. With all of that, basically what you're saying is let market forces decide, and that's exactly the way it should be, in my opinion, the world over for everything.
Ashington, they only care about it when it affects the top teams. They want us to be blocked from spending, but don't like it when it happens to them, says Ashington. Gavin Fuller, City fans, saying that the extra revenue you can't spend will go to the owners instead of the players.
Yeah, it'll certainly not go to reducing ticket prices.
Well, that's kind of using a fact to distort the truth, though, because any money it can go to the owners, man. That's not.
That's what they're in it for at the end of the day, not making money.
But like saying, if we don't spend it, they go to the owners. Well, yeah, all of it could go to the owners if you would. They don't have to spend a dime on players, but that's not the point of the exercise. So, I mean, I wouldn't take that as too hard, to be honest. Andy here says the top six don't want to spend money; they want to generate profits to allow them pay their shareholders large dividends. There you go. Cheers, Andy. Ashington there. The top teams get affected. They will soon whine. I'd vote for it because the Prem might learn a lesson when they lose top players and money. Well, some of them already should be in PSR problems, PSR trouble, but they don't. They're not bothered by it. Everybody said, including you, saying that Man United, I don't want them to win the cup because Man United now will get all the money and players will want to go. It didn't stop them whatsoever losing that European Cup to Tottenham. It didn't bother them one bit. They talked about it, maybe just to get their attention off of them that they can spend. But at the end of the day, they got what they wanted. They spent what they wanted. They didn't affect them one bit. So you tell me.
I just, well, you know where I stand on it. I've done all along. Just do away with it. As long as it's not borrowed. If you want to put money into a football club, put as much as you want in. But it's not a loan. It's there forever. You can't get it back.
Well,
And you know, if I was a billionaire, multi-billionaire, and Newcastle United is my club, and I want to just go and do what Abramovich did at Chelsea, why shouldn't I?
well, I mean, we've been going around that. Of course, I agree. Newcastle should be able to do it. Unfortunately, and to be honest, I think this is. I agree that the spending obviously gives you more of a chance, but it doesn't really mean you're gonna win everything and that you're gonna even be successful. Man United spend all the money they want. They're not successful. They haven't been successful in the last 15 years. They won a cup here and there, which we would like to have, of course. I guess you could say more successful than others, but it's not. Money is not helping them really. I mean, it's not. You got to have competent people managing your club, and they clearly haven't done that.
What you can say is that money does not guarantee your success, but you cannot have success in football now without money.
Yeah, but I mean,
So
it's
the
not.
one doesn't guarantee the other, but it does absolutely debar the other. You can't guarantee that you can misspend money in football the same way you can misspend it anywhere else.
Yeah, but
The one thing you can't do, you cannot win the Premier League without spending money.
But that's why I don't think that it should be of relevance to add these such a strict rules, as if it is factual that if you spend, you win. I mean, I think these rules are just are bogus. I don't see why all of a sudden, because you can spend, that means you automatically win. I mean, I wouldn't add strict rules like this, to say the least. But they've done it, and
slapping a bird sums it up beautifully there. If you bought a cafe and you wanted to refurbish it and spend money on it, there would be no law against doing so based on the hitherto revenue of the cafe. If you want to go and improve it and do it and ultimately with the objective then of being able to make big money, why should anybody be able to stop you doing it? They shouldn't.
No.
Businessmen should be allowed to invest in their company. Yep.
That is agreed. That is right.
Darren Lee's pulling me up as there's always the exception to the rule, Darren. You know, Leicester did it. Yes, Leicester did do it, and on a relatively shoestring budget. But that's once in 30 years.
Yeah, I mean, clearly that's not.
And then, by the way, they then went on to sell all of the players that they did it with. You know, they bought Canty for coppers, went on to be they were. I'm not saying fortunate at all. They weren't fortunate. They were well managed, well run. And so their recruitment was second to none then. If you look at the squad that Leicester won, but they ended up having to sell them all. Mahrez to City, Canty to Maguire to Man United.
Yeah.
So that was all down to recruitment and good management by Ranieri.
But to be honest, that was a personal decision too. Nobody forced them to sell or nothing. I mean, they kind of threw the towel in, to be fair. I mean, not that they would have kept up, but they got money from the Premier League, a lot of money. Yeah. And they could have just reinvested. They could have said, this is our opportunity to become an elite team, and we're going to reinvest, we're going to do that, but they didn't do that. They just said...
You're absolutely right, but at the time, their revenue was absolute peanuts. And for them for to improve, let's and by the way, I think I can't pronounce his name, God rest his soul, but the owner then, if he had wanted to keep his players, not sell them, to push on, as you're saying, for him to buy players who were going to be good enough to replace other players in that team. And that was the other thing about that team. Remember, they had virtually no injuries all season. So they were able to play their best 11 most of the time. And, again, bear in mind, they had the likes of Barnes and Madison in that squad. They had good players. And for them to buy players who were the equivalent of them or better than them to kick on, they just didn't have the money to do it.
They were not good. Well, I mean, they had to. I agree. They had to combat that, no doubt about it. But they still could have made different decisions to, or at least try. But I mean, they didn't. They saw what was happening, and then of course they just roll over. By the way, if you want to, we're gonna try this again. You can phone in now, have your say. Call in and have your say. 0191-916-8863. Give us a call. Have your say on the current situation of Newcastle United. Whatever you want to talk about, have your say. If you want to have a say about the management, about the team in itself, what you think is going to happen against Man City, or the PSR talks, the money thing, give us a call. 0191-916-8863. And have your say, of course, because we certainly need the fans' opinions. And now we made it easy. All you got to do is call in and have your say. We're still testing this new software, so the more you call, the more we can perfect it. So there you go. Interesting, though, because I read this on the Daily Mail that something to do with, I guess you could say, revenue or whatnot. But it seems like this is more of a Premier League wide, but it obviously affects Newcastle United. There's a ticket touting crackdown. Government plans to ban reselling above face value for big sporting events amid concern fans are being ripped off. So it looks like the government and Keir Starmer's banker in the chat, when he comes on, he might know all about it since he's in Keir Starmer's cabinet. So it's interesting. We got a super chat there coming in on YouTube. Thank you very much, mate. It says Gavin Fuller, thank you for the £5. So if we change the way we play for Walter Mata, if Eddie Howe don't play Wissa, put that again. If Eddie Howe don't play Wissa with Walter together, does that mean the team have to keep changing depending on who's on?
Who's in? I think he must run out of characters.
Well, that's the situation that we find ourselves in. I don't think that. I think that Nick Voltemata is a starter. It should be the starter, and we need to cater to him in attack. And I think Wissa can come on, and he can either play on the wing. It's not like nobody's lighting it up on the wing. He can play the wing, and listen, his wing play is not going to be like a Murphy crossing the balls and anything like that. It's just different. But he, like you said, then I can see the link-up play with Voltemata. I can see it very well. But we don't play with a 10. We're not going to. Eddie Howe will never do that. Because I do believe it's all semantics. If you play with a 10, yeah, you can put Voltemata there. He will be like a false 9, exchanging places with Wissa all the time, going back and forth, back and forth. But we don't do that. And you can't play Voltemata on the wing. So you're gonna have to put Wissa there. All right, that's why I think he could be on the right wing. He could do a great job. He's certainly play winger for Congo.
But I don't think he'd be on the right wing. He'd be on the left wing where he plays for Congo.
Yeah, well, yeah, but
and he still gets in the box for Congo.
I know, but for I'm saying for Congo, he's played all over the place. To be fair, that one last game you say he played on the left wing, but he's not going to take Gordon out. We got to try to keep some level of realism in this thing. He's not going to take Gordon off to put Wissa in. Come on, man.
Well, let's face it. We've got to hope that Gordon is going to recapture some of his form, which appears to have deserted him at the minute.
That's fine. We got a caller in. How's it going, mate?
Yeah, it's going good.
Yeah. What's your name?
It's Mark.
Mark. Is that Mark Bingley?
No.
Oh, Mark. What's your? Where are you calling from?
Calling from Northumberland.
Northumberland, man. But would that be? Isn't that? Well, that's not Newcastle.
Well, it's north of
It's
Newcastle.
north of Newcastle.
North of Newcastle. All right, got you.
It's the county.
It's the county bordering onto Scotland.
Do you hear Mighty Win when he was speaking?
Can you hear me?
I do, yeah.
Okay.
They speak a bit more broad Geordie than we do.
Well, no, I'm saying, do you hear him now? Do you hear him now, though? I'm trying to verify that you hear him now.
Can you hear me now, Mark?
I don't know. I can't hear him.
Let's see. We might get on to. Do you not hear him now? Let me see. Do you hear him now?
Can you hear my dulcet tones now, Mark?
No, I can't hear him.
No, that's crazy. But let me over there in you said Northumbria. Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Yeah, Northumberland.
Northumberland. So are you guys, just between me and you, are you guys considered Geordie?
Yeah.
Northumbrian.
Oh, we're not good. I mean, some would say that Ashington are not Geordies, and some say that not Washington.
Yeah, we're classed as Northumbrians.
Oh, Northumbrians. Some would say that people from some would say that Ashington shouldn't be Geordies, but they're too far up, and but they are considered Geordies. So we're trying to redevelop here the Geordie lines, man. The Geordie the borders. But what's up, man? What did you want to say? What do you think of the tune?
Ask him if he rules his R's.
Yeah, I've just been questioning things over the past couple of years. Just with when Amanda left, and when you see the players' body language, they just seem like they're a bit petulant at the minute. Like there's just something seems to be like bad, like behind the scenes.
Yeah.
Has the club's direction changed? Has the cartel into the owners to do other deals and stuff like that? Because something's definitely not right behind the scenes. So the clubs went from making really good decisions, like players like Toon Army, what improved the first team, making players getting players what are just a bit meh.
Right. Do
A bit meh.
if you, by the way, Wayne wants me to ask you if you roll your R's. That must be a thing that you guys do over there. But what do you make that? Why do you think that's what's happening though? I mean, if you think about it, what would be the reason you think?
Just the reason. I remember Amanda coming out years ago, right, when we're signing players, and she was saying in many articles saying, everything we do, we need to stick to PSR and make sure we don't go over the limit and stuff like that.
Right.
Then it comes to the summer, a couple of years ago when we saw Elliot Anderson, that suddenly we're in line of breaching PSR and we'll have to sell two of our best players.
Yeah.
But that was because Amanda had overspent. To be fair.
After that, Amanda left.
Yeah, I mean, you got a point there. You got a point there. But are you? I mean, I don't know if we should even be asking these type of questions. But are you 80 in, 80 out? Where are you in the? How are you feeling about Eddie Howe right now?
He's just a bit annoying. His decisions just don't make any sense. He has too much favoritism towards players. When
hey, Win. This is
you need to be playing picking your best team, not favouritism. Dan Burn, for instance, he's a cracking centre half, but at left back, he's just getting caught out all the time, and he's just no good at when it comes to passing and retaining possession of the ball.
Interesting.
It puts
So
one,
who would he play instead of Dan Burn
puts
when
one under
Lewis
pressure.
Hall's not available?
We need more technical players at left back and right back.
So who would you say you would play then instead of Dan Burn if Hall is not available? That's what Wayne wants me to ask you. Because he wants to put Burn no matter what.
I'd be playing that young lad personally. That Irish kid. I can't remember what his name is.
Murphy.
Murphy. The Murphy.
Yeah, Murphy. Because a few years ago, I thought he was outstanding on the pre-season tour. Him.
Yeah. Can you hear me now, Mark? Obviously not.
But it's not a case. It's not a case of that. With the team selection, why doesn't he rotate them? Rotate the centre halves, play Burn and Shaw a game, then play Botman and Chow, so everybody's getting the game.
Yeah, but you're not building up any relationships then.
Well, but that's interesting though, Wayne, because he's from Newcastle, and he's not happy with Eddie right now. So what? Because
he hasn't answered the question: is he Eddie in, Eddie out?
Are you Eddie in or Eddie out? He wants to know that first.
I'm still Eddie in, but he needs to start learn from his mistakes and stop.
That's right.
Having favoritism is certain players.
Yeah, that's right. But because Wynn says that the vast majority of local fans, like yourself, are flabbergasted by the thought of anybody questioning Eddie Howe. What is your sentiment over there in the northeast of England of how fans are feeling? The fans that you talk to, what is the noise over there?
The vast majority of the fans are still Eddie in, they support him, but people are in the mindset that he needs to do better in his in-game management and
there you go.
Keep on. It got proved a couple of years ago about playing Dan Burn at left back. It just doesn't work, and it's cost him games.
There you go. When you see him,
so he's saying exactly the same as me.
We've got Sean Neave, who's banging the goals in.
Right.
In the under-21 for fun. And we're struggling with strikers. Any other club in the Premier League gives the youth a chance, bar Newcastle. Arsenal at the minute's playing that young striker who's 15, and they're giving him a game.
Yeah, I mean, you can't. You cannot argue with that. I mean, it's criminal that we don't ever even think of these young lads. In Liverpool won a cup, the Carabao Cup that we so love and adore. Liverpool won it with the young lads on the club, and and you see teams like Arsenal with the young kid that they're all excited about and all that. And to be honest, it's not like they just put him in. It's not like they're costing them points. You got to give them some type of. They're professional footballers more or less, man. They might not be ready to start every game, but at the end of the day, you can give them time. We don't even give this Park Sung-soo. We are struggling with wingers. Our wingers are not doing anything, and I think our manager should say, you know what, all of you are crap, and I'm gonna make a statement. All of you are gonna be benched. I'm gonna put Park Sung-soo there, and you got to make a Some things got to give, and. Yeah.
Max Dowman
I totally agree, though, but
games for
it's not just that, though. It would be sharing the load with Walter Mart, because he's been running to the ground. So having Sean Neave on the bench would give him a 20-30 minutes. So he might actually get a goal or something as well.
Well, it wouldn't hurt to try him, to say the least. But you got Osula there as well. But I would definitely try something with the wingers, because they're clearly not doing their job, especially on the left wing. I mean, Gordon is knackered.
In my view on Gordon at the minute is, I think he wants to go to Liverpool.
Ooh.
I don't think he's recovered from a few years ago when he was going to get
Fools
sold.
that were wankers.
Man. And so you
Oh,
say that?
the mighty win there. I heard him there.
Oh,
that
that's-
was off Chris's soundboard.
That's on my soundboard. I got Mighty. You know, I got Mighty Win all over the soundboard, so I can have a show by myself and have him play his voice. You enjoy the show, mate? You like the channel?
Yeah, I listen to it all the time at work. I'm a postman, so
Oh, cheers!
Good
Good stuff. Good
I
stuff.
have it playing all the time.
Spread the word, man. You got to spread the word. You got to tell all your Geordie friends. You know what I mean? Let them know what's happening.
Yeah.
Proper banter. Last thoughts, mate. I mean, where do we go? Do you think?
Ask him how's Pat the cat?
Well, Wayne wants me to ask you. Well, first of all, Wayne wants me to ask you, how's Pat the cat? I don't know what that is.
Pat the cat. That old one.
I'm lost here, but anyway, what do you think about you think we're gonna beat Man City?
No, I don't. Not realistically.
Oh man, you're knackered, man. Come on, man. You got so a point. What about a point?
Personally, I think we're going to get beat about 2 or 3-0.
Oh man, we're gonna get. But so what would be what would be your deciding factor is to say that's it. I'm done with what we're doing, and obviously has to be done with the manager because he's the one managing the team. What would bring you to that point?
If I don't see any changes, like in what he's doing, like his in-game management, if he continues like just playing Dan Burn at left back and not taking people out who are out of form and stuff like that, then I think that'll be it for me. I'll be done.
Do you think that the Mackham game is? What if we get the same performance against West Ham or Brentford against the Mackhams? Would that send you over the edge?
Yeah, that would probably send us over the edge, Chad, if it continues on to that game. Yeah, sure.
Yeah. I mean, that's a criminal. I'm telling you, that's a game. That's a game. Win doesn't. Win is turned. He's not a proper fan anymore, man. He's turned into this fairy tale guy that just flaps his wings and fly according to the Eddie Howe's tone, which is weird. Yeah. You think it's kind of weird, man, but he doesn't think that game is important to be on for him. For a Geordie to say that, it's unbelievable, man.
We'll never hear the end of it. So there's a lot of Sunderland guys at work, and
that's right.
It's one of the most important games you can get. Getting beat off them,
in specifically in that way. If we play like West Ham or Brentford. Well, Mark, thank you very much, mate. Go on, finish your point. Sorry.
I was just saying, even if Howe was doing better than he was, and you lost the Sunderland game, you should be sacked. You should be sacked on the spot.
Man, that's a great. And this is so refreshing, man, because Win wants to lie and scam and deceive fans and to say that the whole northeast of England are behind Eddie, no doubt about it. And now you call in. That's what we want, all of you. That's why we got a UK number, a Newcastle number, so you guys can call us and let us know the truth. Because look at it, Mark, I didn't even know you, man. But thank you very much for calling us, Mark. Call us again, man. We're going to put the phone number out there so you can call us anytime you want to have your say, as often as you want. All right, mate? Are you at work right now?
All right, yeah, work in the rain at the minute. So.
Oh, man. You better not get caught on the phone and driving. I heard there's cameras. I won't say anything, though. Appreciate it, Mark. Take care, mate.
Thank you, bye.
Cheers, bye. So there you go. That was Mark there from Northumberland. So why do you want to? There you go. That's another Geordie.
Another Geordie who's Eddie in.
No.
And everybody, and you asked him what all the crack was all around. Oh, the vast majority's Eddie in.
Yeah, that's fine.
And he's criticising them for in-game management. What do? I criticise them for in-game management.
But they're losing their mind, just like we all are. We're being critical. That's it. He speaks nothing like
you. You are losing your mind, and I'm not losing my mind.
He speaks nothing like you, man. Stop lying.
Almost every word that Mark said, I've said. Except for the favouritism bit.
I don't think
I don't
so.
think it's down to favouritism. I think it's down to tactical notes.
Keep going.
Well, I just suddenly got I've got an echo back again.
Well, because I'm trying to sort that thing. Give us a call right now, 0191-916-8863 if you want to have your say like Mark did. A lovely, wonderful show. So smash the like button, folks. And yeah, come on and have your say. He's not a
hit
Geordie.
the like button. Come on.
Two Corner Frey says he's not a Geordie, he's a Northumbrian. So because he doesn't say what we want to hear, what you guys want to hear, he's not a Geordie. How way, man. Steve Gotti says Semenyo ain't coming. Well, we gotta try. Irish Assassin says win, go and ask 52,000 fans. Then you can say everyone in Newcastle, says Eddie N.
Obviously I can't ask 52,000 fans. I can't ask 52,000. But here's the thing. I ask almost everybody now on my way to and from, in and out of the stadium, at half time, etc., etc., etc. At least, I would say more, but at least 90%, definitely Eddie in. I was at the club seminar on a week past Thursday.
Yep.
For the all members and season ticket holders got an email saying, did you want to attend this seminar on the way that home tickets are currently being distributed, etc. I applied for that. The club said that they'd had over 14,000 applications to attend the meeting. And there was about, I would say, 86, between 60 and 80 people in the room who actually got to attend, and there was a live online thing going on at the same time. There was everybody, or almost everybody that was at that meeting, who was a random selection, and they said this at the start, it was a random selection based on age, supporter status. They weren't all kind of season ticket holders. There was some season ticket holders, some non-season ticket holders, some members, some non-members, men, women, old, young, the whole spectrum. So this was a representative sample of Newcastle United supporters, and I asked as many of those in that meeting as I could, Eddie in, Eddie out, and all bar two were Eddie in. So that's all I'm saying. And everybody that I speak to on a day-to-day basis, when I'm in the pubs, when I'm in the bars, and it's not all the same people all the time, because sadly I get recognised a bit now, and so people will come up and say hello, which is great. I love it. But then I ask every one of them, and they're all Eddie in. So that's all I'm saying. So anybody who thinks that's this groundswell of opinion, saying, that doesn't mean that he's beyond criticism at all.
Yeah, but you act like that though. You criticize.
I don't act like that at all.
You criticize him for 1 second, and then you say you defend them against everything, and everything has an excuse behind it, and blah blah blah. And that's where people come in and say that you're a happy clever and that you defend the indefendable. By the way, and now you got to squeeze in that you're a superstar now in Newcastle, that people stop you and all this. That's not necessary. You're being arrogant. You should be humble and say, you know what, if people want to take a picture, take a picture. But now you think you're a superstar. You're walking around Newcastle with a strut on.
I didn't say anything of the sort. I said I don't.
Might as well get your platform shoes on, and go back to the 70s, man. By the way, yesterday I sent a message to Gary Moore and see if he was all right. And he told me, he said, funny enough, I was in Newcastle the other day, and people stopped me from being on the show. But Gary Mon, believe it or not. So somebody stopped him. Shout out to Gary Mon. I hope he's doing well. Of course, he's focusing on his band, but good stuff. And you can hear I think one song or two songs of what they made on the radio station, online radio station, which, by the way, you can listen to all day, every day, 24/7. 24/7 literally. So right now you can listen to us on the website nufcradio.com or nufctalkradio.com. You can listen to us on radio.net. You can listen to us on Live Radio UK. You can listen to us everywhere online digitally. I have to sort one thing out to be able to, that way you can tell your smart speaker, hey, whatever the name is, I don't even want to say it because she'll go off here. Let me see, the one that starts with an A, or you can tell Echo, play NUFC Talk Radio, and it should come up. I have to fix one thing though. I have to fix one thing, and then it should work. But you can listen to us 24/7, and also we're working on a massive thing coming up soon. So there you go. If you want to fall asleep to our wonderful soothing tones, if you want to fall asleep to Mighty Wind's voice, you can certainly do that on the website. We have many online directories. So you just got to look up NUFC Talk Radio Live, and you will see many options come up. We got some comments here as well. By the way, phone in right now. Give us your say. Have your call. Have your say. Uninterrupted and undisputed. 0191-916-8863. Call us like Mark did just a minute ago from Northumbria.
And there's a link now in the chat which will take you straight to Radio Garden's website.
Yeah, that's another website we can listen to. So.
And that link will take you straight to us live now.
And that's a radio directory, an online radio directory. That's not our website, but you can listen to us there and listen to us anywhere that you get your if you listen to radio online. But again, we are working on something big that way you can even listen to us much easier than that, and working on an app as well as we speak. So smash the like button. Don't forget to subscribe, and thank you for all your support. You can super chat if you want to highlight your comment, or you can call us right now. Have your say. 0191-916-8863. We put Mighty Wind's number out there so you can call him all day, every day. Comment here says, let me see. Pope will definitely start Saturday, says Thomas Cloak. Well, I actually agree with that. I don't agree with it. I think Ramsdale should get an opportunity, but I think that Eddie Howe won't make that change. Darren Lee, if I see you at the Spuds game in a couple of weeks, I'll tell you. How in, fella. There you go. Darren Lee, he's a happy glove.
Eddie likes to correct me.
Which, by the way,
Darren likes to correct me.
I don't think that's a saying how in is not being a happy clapper, by the way. That's just stating the obvious. I don't think that is reasonable. I don't think it's reasonable, respecting everybody's opinion. I don't think it's reasonable to say Eddie Howe should be sacked at this moment, because I think the ramifications of that are much stronger than it would add a solution, in my opinion, at this moment in time. Tony says Liverpool started at least 7 senior players in the 24 Cup final. They won with kids. Narrative needs to stop. But he played the whole cup with kids, though. Let's be honest. Come on, man. I mean, we saw the kids that played got congratulated as they came back to their secondary school. It went viral when the kids that literally played the final came in the second day or whatever it was to school, and they were getting applauded by the school alumni. So it's not a lie that kids play there. Certainly, they give the kids more opportunities than Eddie Howe has ever done. So we can agree to that. What do you want to show?
That's why Eddie Howe shouldn't be sacked. That is Eddie. That was the fourth, and on his 4th anniversary. So he's played 1 game short of 4 full seasons, and he's 4th in the league.
What
151 games played, 253 points. That's why we have got on that. Is he as good as Pep? No. Good as Slot, arguably, but a lot of those points were under Klopp.
Hold on,
As
though.
Arteta, it would appear not. But
What table are you talking about?
Compare the spending.
What table is this? What table is this?
That's every Premier League game that Eddie Howe's played when it was his 4th-year anniversary at the beginning of November.
In November of what? This year?
This year. That was 4 years he'd been at the club. In 4 years, he's played 151 games and got 253 points.
So you're trying to bring up this table, imaginary table that you made up for.
It's not an imaginary table. That's fact.
We're not fourth. We've never been fourth this season, so I don't know what table you're bringing up.
That's 151 games, 4 full seasons, bar one game.
But what about the table that matters, though? What about the table that matters? Where are we at there?
That's where we are there.
No, that's the
who you going? What I'm saying is, who are you going to bring in to do better than that?
I'm not saying
and
second.
Don't say bloody.
I'm not
Zidane.
Iriola. No, don't say Iriola. Zidane, man, are you kidding me? I'll sack him in a heartbeat. If Zidane said, you know what, that Newcastle club, that's a proper club. I'd like to take a look at that one. Boy, I would sack Eddie Howe right now on the spot and buy the plane tickets, the private jet. And listen, you come up again. I don't want to sack Eddie Howe, right? But I certainly wouldn't be doing this disgrace that you're doing to him, showing this numpty table to justify his job.
It's not a numpty table, man. That's every game he's played for 4 years.
Yeah, but that doesn't matter to anything. That's not relevant.
Bear in mind the first 12 of them, he had a numpty squad till the January window.
When this is a table. This is for you because you're Eddie Howe FC, so that's your table. Your club right now is fourth.
No, that's shown that Eddie Howe is the 4th best manager in the league.
No, listen,
over 4 years, not over 11 games this season, over 151 games.
That's what matters to you because that's your club. Your club is doing great. You're 4th in the table. Your club, Eddie Howe FC, is Champions League form right now. My club, Newcastle United, right now are closer to relegation than Champions League. So
and yet they're 6th in the Champions League.
That's why. That's fine, but we still got to qualify for it unless we win it. But you might think still that in your mindset that we might win it, which is great. Is great. But by the way, just because of that, what you just done, which is, to be honest, shameful, disgraceful, and distasteful.
Why? Why? Explain why.
Because you're bringing up a table that makes no sense, man. The table, he's 4th.
I'm bringing up the table, which is every Premier League game for the last 4 years for every club. And we are 4th.
Man, it's a table over the 4 years, man. What is that?
That's right, over 4 years, not over 11 games of this season. Over 4 years.
What type of what do we get for that? We get a trophy.
We get the Champions League twice, and we get a trophy, and we get another final.
No. But I want to know. He's 4th right now. So what does that mean? Do we get to be in the accumulation of 4 years? Do we get to have an extra year in the Champions League?
It gets to prove to anybody with half a brain that he's a good manager, that he's better than everybody except Klopp, Pep, and that table Arteta.
He's better than Howe. Would you pick Eddie Howe over Arteta or Arteta over Eddie Howe?
Eddie Howe over Arteta every day.
But he's better. He's better on your table, on your imaginary.
Yeah, because he spent over £1 billion.
Well, Eddie Howe spent 700.
And by the way, from a starting base, which was in the Champions League already and had won the FA Cup, from that starting base, he spent $1 billion.
Big man. Eddie Howe spent 700, so he didn't spend that much less than.
Yeah, but what Eddie Howe started with wasn't what Arteta started with, a Champions League qualifying team anyway, and an FA Cup winners. Eddie Howe started with a relegation squad, a championship squad.
Why do you Why did you get so angry about this? Like, what's going on?
Because you are totally belittling what that table tells you, and it's eyesight for anybody to look at it. He's the fourth best manager in the league.
So at the end of the season, if we finish, 15th or 14th, whatever, you will say, look at this table right here. I want to show you guys this. I know
if we finish 15th, he's got to go.
All right then. So that table means nothing, not even to you, if we don't perform.
Of course, it means something.
It doesn't mean
body of work. It shows how good a manager he is. The fact that we're going through a rocky patch now, and all you bedwetters are jumping off the bandwagon looking for scapegoats.
There's no such thing as a scapegoat, man. I'm not a bedwetter anyway. So you talk to who you want to talk to. I don't want Eddie Howe sacked, but I wouldn't defend him with that with what you just showed, because it doesn't matter in the great scheme of things. It just doesn't matter, man. It doesn't matter. He's done a great job, but then again, it just might mean that he took Newcastle as far as he can take them. Therefore, now you got to make the next step. It might mean that as well, but you're just trying to just show or give it a meaning that you want.
That's it. That's Eddie Howe's body of work over 4 years as a Premier League manager for Newcastle United.
You're on the wrong. You got to scroll up on the pro scenes, because you're below do not use. You're using broken scenes, man. Anyway, but let's go with comments. How about we go with comments? Is that okay for Newcastle fans to have their say? Okay. Let me see. If you don't want to, by the way, you can call in right now. Phone in 0191-916-8863 if you want to have your say. Call us right now and help.
As Trull saying, we judge a manager from what he does now, not what he did last season or the season before. No. Yeah. If you're sensible, you judge a manager on what he's likely to do. You don't just make right. Look at what Amarim's doing at Man United now.
Amarim is rubbish, man. So look at what he's doing now. What is he doing?
They're fourth right now, and
that's what they should be, man.
If all the knee jerkers had now, he would have been out, last, and they would have been starting afresh.
And again, you're lying again. Fourth are the Mackhams, who you ignore is an important game.
Exactly.
7th are Man United. So there you go. Man United are 7th right now based on point differential or goals different or whatever. But let's go. The Naya Powell playing the world's smallest violin for you, so you can as you read your stat.
Played 151 games, 253 points, 1.67 points per game. Good enough to get you in the Champions League any season. And he's got his trophies to take with him if the bedwetters get their way. I am sensible. Just because you are a Howian doesn't mean you're better than us. So stop with the bedwetters and half a brain crap. It's different. It's different opinions. And I still love you, trolls. Don't worry about that. Listen, Eddie's got his faults. Of course he has. He needs to sort them out, or he'll be on the road. All about results. All about results.
Come on, man. Stop whinging. Stop crying, man. Stop crying.
I'm not crying.
Let me see here. Comments here from this for Win going off. Irish Assassin says he's got to go, but he's 4th best manager in the league. Win. That table is just another way for you to argue that you're always right in your mind.
Obviously, I'm always right in my mind.
Kenny W says it shows he's the best English manager in the league. There you go. That's not saying much. Yeah, that's not saying much.
When was the last time an English manager won the league?
Never. I don't think there's never been.
George Graham.
The English league, the Premier League never. Charles We judge the manager from what he does now, not what he did last season or seasons before that. To coin a phrase, I would take Arnie Klopp out of there too. To be fair, he could be sacked soon.
Yeah, well, I'm saying that Liverpool record is down to Klopp, not Slot.
Nah. Stop lying, man. That's so deceiving, man. You know, because you taking what Slot did, he must have done something right that season.
He kept Klopp's team.
No, that ain't fair. Because Klopp didn't win it the previous season. They didn't do good at all. They won the cup, but that's not enough for them. So they didn't do good with that.
And they won it the previous season.
Yeah, in 2019 they won it, I believe. So there you go. Gavin Fuller, Chris, we are fourth on average over 4 years. Crap at the moment. There you go. But that average of 4 years means nothing right now. Yeah, so that stat will remain.
It does. What it means is that the underlying squad is good enough.
Well, I know the squad is good enough. You don't have to tell me that. With this squad we have, we should be competing for Champions League every season. So that's not an issue. The squad is not an issue. Niall says, I'm surprised PSG has not been in for Eddie if he's that good. Well, there you go. How come there's no rumors when on Eddie Howe, like Real Madrid didn't have a manager at the time when Ancelotti left? PSG, all these. How come he's never rumored to go to another big to make that move in his career to upgrade? Other than England, but because he's English,
because when those clubs' agents and little moles who go doing all the digging beforehand, have approached him, he said, "No, I'm here."
What the? How do you even know, man? Why do you have?
How do you know?
The thing is, because it would have been.
How do you know?
It would have been out there already. Everything gets leaked. Everything. There's nothing that we don't know. Everything gets leaked for the vast majority. And you gonna tell me if all these clubs are in for him, he would say no. If PSG comes in for him, no. A majority now.
PSG, absolutely.
Any other club. So what other club wants Eddie Howe right now?
Probably 16 out of 20 Premier League clubs would take him right now.
Love it, man.
I've kept really quiet, but I'll tell you something. He went down in my estimation when he said that. Love it.
There you go, man. You are knackered, Win. Knackered. It says win. It doesn't show how is the fourth best. Emery wasn't at Villa through all those 4 years, says Tony T.
Yes, he was.
I don't know though. Those 4 years.
He was.
No, because he was rumored to come. No,
he took over at Villa before Eddie took over at Newcastle, because that was why he turned Newcastle down to go to Villa.
Okay,
well, we kept Bruce until.
We have to corroborate that.
Well, till November.
Boki, I'm going to start a GoFund campaign to get Win help for his Eddie Howe obsession. We are all here to help him, says Boki. And there you go. Win does not tell what mean to this season in the Prem. Nout. He has to up his game.
Those losses from this season up to November the 4th, I think it was. Because that was his 4th anniversary, November the 4th.
Yeah.
So they include this season's pitiful start, and he's still 4th.
Mealby says, I would rather judge Eddie Howe at the end of the season. He has 30.
Oh, there's Mealsby staying. Good eye, Cobber.
30 plus more games to play, for Christ's sake. Unfortunately, he doesn't though, because every move for Newcastle United is important. It's much. For example, right now we can't even blink because we have to get Premier League points. It would be the same for qualifying for Europe again. We certainly need that for money. One of the main reasons. And if we don't get it right to qualify for Europe again, then it's not good at all. It's not good at all. I mean, being 14th right now is not good at all. But I mean, that just unfortunately, I do not see just the Mackham game is going to be massively, if I'm being honest, as opposed to what Wynn thinks. I think this game is going to be massive. It always has been, and all of that will be. I mean, unfortunately, that's just the way the cookie crumbles. He's going to have to turn things around. Again, if you look at the schedule, that's the part that's dodgy about it, because ain't nothing but tough games until we play Burnley. Now you got to get points. Again, 1 point might do against Man City, and we'll have to see, of course. But we shall see. We got a caller now. Hello.
Hello.
How's it going, mate? What's your name?
It's Tony. I do speak to. Well, put messages on quite a bit.
Oh, Tony, man, that's you, man.
Tony T.
Tony T in the building. Tony T in the house. You're from Newcastle? Are you from Newcastle?
No.
Yeah, where you from?
Warrington. You won't have heard of it.
Warrington. It's between Liverpool and Manchester.
It's in between
Manchester
and Liverpool.
Oh, so you're a Scouser in the monk in between. There you go, man. But welcome, mate. Lovely to hear from you. Tony's in the house. What you got to say, man?
Yeah, real quick. I want to point out Wynn is wrong about Emery. He didn't join until 2022.
Ooh, Wynn is knackered.
Because it was after the game we beat them. I think it was 4-1 or 5-1 at St James's. He was in the crowd watching.
Wait, Emery was at St James's? No, Eddie Howe was.
We played them. They sacked Steven Gerrard.
Oh, right.
And when we played them at our ground, when Almiron scored.
Okay. So yeah, all right.
And Emery joined just afterwards. He was in the crowd watching.
Okay, got
So when are you saying that was?
So when do you say that was? Is the mighty win? You can't hear him, but we're trying to sort that out. But
no, I can't. No, it was in 2022, and obviously Howe's been in since 2021. So yeah.
Yeah. Well, either way, what is your? Because I know you were on the mighty win bandwagon after you realized he's been delusional, and then you jumped out. But what's your thoughts on Eddie Howe right now? Where do you feel?
I don't go quite for 4 years ago he did this because it's irrelevant, because it's just a different squad. So you obviously you do then sort of have to look at it and go, right, with a better squad you have bigger sort of ambitions, and he's not meeting those ambitions at the moment. Now obviously I'm not Howe out yet, but if he loses to Everton, it will be, because that's sort of my rival club. I'm not really that bothered about the Sunderland game, because I'm not a Geordie.
Yeah. No, but you're a Newcastle fan, man. That's all we worry about. But I mean,
okay. Emery joined Villa on the 24th of October 22.
Do you hear Wynn now?
No, I could sort of hear sort of like he's coming through your sort of speaking, but I can't hear him.
All right. So either way, Wynn, why are you trying to? It's irrelevant, man. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter. All of that really don't matter. I agree with you, man. All of that doesn't matter. It's about now and what's happening now. But he did say if we lose against Everton away, if we lose against Everton away, are you gonna start questioning Eddie Howe now?
I'm questioning Eddie. I'm already questioning Eddie.
He doesn't question him at all. But
yeah, I mean, I'll be honest with you, I'm not on either bandwagon, because you both make decent enough points, and then you both make relatively points I don't really agree with. It's like with the whole Pope thing. Everyone thinking that if we take Pope out, all of a sudden the midfielders and the wingers will all of a sudden remember how to make passes to assist the thing. I just don't think that's going to happen.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm not camp Win, if that's what you're asking.
Yeah, well, I mean, but it's a good obviously it's good to talk about these things, but the fact of the matter is, when is PIF going to run out of patience? And I always say this: as soon as the stands start focusing on the executive boxes, that's when they start losing patience. But I think that's a very like at the end of everything. I don't see that happening, really. I don't even see it happen. I don't see them the fence turning on Eddie yet. But that's what Wynn wants to wait for. That when the fans turn on Eddie. But there's no fix about that. There's no going back. If the fans start shouting,
I don't think any English fan wants to turn on Eddie at all. I think, like most English people, we want an English manager to win the English Premier League, but at the same time, we also want to win, and if he's not going to be doing that, then unfortunately, eventually you're going to go, sorry, mate, but thanks for the cup now, F off.
Yeah.
I agree with you.
Well, nicely.
Win says
if he finishes 14th, 15th at the end of the season,
Win said
should be
right?
gone.
Win says he agrees with you. You know that he's, but he does. We know. Me and you watch his channel long enough to know he doesn't really. He just says.
Would you get because I could have heard Win, but I've knocked my finger off because I was a bit worried about feedback. Do you get feedback if I was to turn on the the mic on the thingy on the computer,
the speaker?
I don't hear anything now. If you're talking about where you're watching,
I've muted it so I can't hear Win because I thought you might get like a feedback.
Well, I mean, I turn it on again, and we're still sorting this thing out anyway. And you should be just calling and able to hear him. I mean, obviously that's our issue. We're going to have to sort that out, but we're working towards it. And but either way, what is your assessment on the Man City game? What is your statement? What do you think was going to happen there?
I mean, obviously, I do think we can win, but I don't think it's very realistic. I'd give us 10% chance, maybe best.
Mm-hmm. A draw would be enough for you?
I mean, not really, not with previous. It would have been if we would have got any type of result in the last two games, but not with our current form. We need to be pushing away from the bottom three, not getting closer to it. And if any of those teams in the bottom three win, then we are getting dragged into it.
Yeah. That's a very good statement to say the least. Unfortunately, we can't afford to say let's take a draw here, let's take a draw there. We got to win now every game. Well,
let's say we do accept a draw and then we get a draw against Everton. Is everyone patting themselves on the back, going, "Well, at least we're not losing it now"?
No.
And obviously, two draws. I think it was Win the other month said, "You're better to get a couple of losses as long as you're winning the others."
The thing is, though, people, for example, for Everton, people are talking. I don't know. People live in the past. Everton are just as bad or worse than us. So I don't understand this point away type BS. They got a new stadium. What does that mean? I mean, that means nothing. They got
Everton had what I consider new manager bounce with all the romance of what's his name, David Moyes coming back last year. I've seen a couple of their games this year. I just wish Brighton were as bad as finishing as they were against Everton as they were for against us, but they weren't. But that's just what it is. But then I've not been impressed. They've been very lucky in a lot of games where teams just seem to show up and then seem to miss every big chance they have against them. If we go there thinking, a draw's enough, then I don't know what that says about fans' confidence in Eddie Howe. If we go in there thinking that's good enough.
No, I don't think a draw at Everton is good enough. I mean, if you think about it,
and I would ask you this because I did put it in the comments. Can you name the last time we've gone to top 4 or top 6, a team, not what's traditional top 6, a top 6 who actually finished in the top 6? When was the last time we won away at one of those grounds?
Oh my God, we haven't won away at.
Yeah,
I don't even know.
We're beating Spurs a couple of times when they were.
If anyone else does.
We've beaten Spurs a couple of times when they were up there.
I think they finished 6th or something.
Yeah. Win says we finished. We beat Spurs away a couple of times, but I mean, when's the last time we won in away game?
So you sort of misunderstand. When doesn't mean. I mean, who actually finished in the top 6, not who a traditional top 6 team are. Because Spurs didn't finish in the top 6 last year.
Well, it'd be interesting to know what team was 14th around this times in lower mid-table and managed to get up there at the end of the season to finish in Champions League. Has that ever been? Well, I'm sure it's been done, but how many and who? It would be an interesting.
I think Liverpool would have got. But if you're going to say top 5. Then I guess, was it Liverpool who sort of chased us down a couple of years ago, got quite close, and they were sort of mid-table, weren't they, when we finished 4th, and they nearly caught us up.
It's a difficult situation once you think about it, what we're in, but we're going to have to get it done. I mean, as you said, 1 point at a time is not going to get it done. No. It's Band-Aid on a heart attack. and it's just it's not going. It can't do it. I mean,
Anyway, I'm going to sort of raffle because I'm not good with my nerves being on the phone. So
no, you're good, mate. Well, listen, thank you for calling us. Thank you for calling us, and you know,
Thanks for coming on, buddy lad.
call us anytime, and we'll get you on next time, mate. Thank you. Have a good one, Tony. Good lad there, Tony T, man, in the hoose. So lovely to hear from. Call us right now. Have your say. 0191-916-8863. Mighty Wind's phone number. That's the one he uses for his online OnlyFans verification. So, you know, if you get a text, it's just verifying the Mighty Wind, the code, so he can get in his account because he doesn't have a password. So it's just all via code. 0191-916-8863. Call us and have your say, ladies and gents. We're still sorting the system out. We need you. I mean, some say that it's good that you can't hear the Mighty Wind anyway. So it's that might not be an issue, Win. That might not be an issue for some folks. But ladies and gentlemen, well done, Tony T. Says Jordy Highwayman. Let us know what you think in the comment section down below of this. I mean, this wasn't really a main topic of discussion, if you will, but at the end of the day, that we planned at least. But it is a big topic right now. Eddie Howe's situation. What are you showing? Bogey's cardigan and his Macam shirt. How are we going? How are we going to win up tonight? You guys, well, listen.
That's you two having a production meeting.
Is that me? Is it supposed to be me? I have a Macam shirt on. Oh, there you go. I just noticed that. I have a Macam shirt on. No, the only red and white shirt I got is River Plates right here hanging on the side of here. By the way, if I get to go to Newcastle, are you going to take me to Sunderland?
Why would you want to go to Sunderland?
I don't know, just to see what it looks like. If it's true that it's for us. If it's when's the last time you've been to Sunderland?
Well, other than when I've been collecting cars there or anything, it would be for the match, for the cup match.
Dang! Did you go to the cup match?
Yeah.
I don't think I knew you then. But yeah. So what's it's
exactly. Why would anybody want to go to Sunderland from Newcastle?
I don't know. Is it so? There's nothing to do in Sunderland at all. There's no good food.
Why do all the Sunderland players live in Newcastle?
Oh, dang, man! Is that a fact?
Yeah.
My goodness. Well, there you go. Anyway, but what about? Can we go to Middlesbrough? Is there anything good to do in Middlesbrough?
That's even worse.
Oh, wait.
Well, actually, it's to be fair, I haven't been in Middlesbrough city centre for God. It's here the last time I was in Middlesbrough was for a match.
Yeah. It's an interesting thing, but you know, I'm trying to see if I can, you know, it's certainly not I guess not a city that I can say I've been to Middlesbrough, and they're gonna be like,
no, definitely not. It's not going to be a feather in your cap.
My goodness, man. What about so the Northeast is knackered? It's just Newcastle? Is that what you're saying?
No, I've got Newcastle and Northumberland on the coast.
Yeah. Mason says Middlesbrough is worse. I don't know, man. I'm just you know, Middlesbrough was voted the worst city in England to live. Is that right? Choppy says, "Wow,
wouldn't surprise me."
Why knackered? What other cities we got around the surrounding areas? How far is it to get to Middlesbrough?
54 mile.
So that's about an hour. So you can you
not
Durham,
go to Leeds? Durham's just down the road. Durham's 18 mile away. That's a beautiful city.
Yeah, but Durham is that not part of Newcastle?
No. Oh, no. I'll tell you the Durham. If you've got a week, I'll tell you the Durham definitely, because that's definitely worth seeing. I had that on your itinerary, if you remember, last time. They'd got thrown in the waste paper bin.
Yeah, it did, because when we got to it, we need to go to Scotland, though. We definitely need to do that. We definitely need to do that. Durham is Proba, says Niall Powell.
Yeah, had you going to Durham, to Alnwick, to
We need to go to Alnwick.
Edinburgh, to London, and
I want to go to
we
London
ended up in the Strawberry.
every night, man. That was criminal. That we were there every night. I need to get. I'm lining it up, man. I need to get some proper.
I'm tired. I'm tired, man.
I need to get some curry. We need to
Do you
get
want
some.
another pint? No, just get us a glass of water.
No. I don't look. I do what I want. I don't let alcohol control me. I'm not an alcoholic, man. I don't let that happen to me. If I eat, I don't eat with alcohol. I eat with orange juice, and the guys got great orange juice, by the way, or water or whatever. I like my meals, man. Then I drink if I want to. But that rubbish that you gave me destroyed my stomach, Foster. So that was, and everybody in Newcastle was all over you for that. How could you ever give a tourist that, man? That is shame, a disgrace. It's a disgrace. It's you pulling up the table for Eddie Howe that you did earlier on. It's just unbelievable. Slapping says avoid London at all costs. Well, I mean, I want to go to the.
Listen, London's good.
Well, let me tell you.
I would definitely not want to live there, but for a tourist, it's brilliant.
I want to go to Buckingham Palace, to all those proper places. I want to go. I want to see that. Other than that, I could care less. I mean, I don't think there's anything. What is it? That little bridge. I've seen that bridge multiple places now. It's got a clock on it.
Bridge.
Yeah, something like that. I've seen that before. And other than that, I mean, what else you got going on over there? And I guess not much. But the good thing is that I don't know if you can see. Can you? If you
1,000 years of history going on over there.
If you take the train from Newcastle all the way to London, is a good scenery looking at is you're traveling, or is it just railroad tracks and nothing more? Or can you actually see
green fields by and large?
Can you see? You can't see the scenery, but you go through what? How many places? Who do you get? What places you get through? As far as like
through Durham, Darlington, York, Doncaster, Peterborough, and then London.
No, but what about the Midlands? You're not gonna get through. You got to get through the Midlands, don't you?
No, you go down because it's the East Coast. You go down, you miss the Midlands.
All right. Well, listen.
Newark and Grantham is kind of Lincolnshire towards the Midlands, but
yeah, we need to organize a meet and greet, man. We need to organize an NUFC talk.
Absolutely.
But we ain't got to sort it out. We got to pick up a place. We can go and have I guess a live show, if you will.
Set up a studio.
Well, like where people can come in. I want to know where the majority of you live, to be honest. I mean, Tony says he's somewhere between Liverpool and Manchester, so as long as you guys all can make it, we would definitely be in for something like that, and have a good pint, have a good drink, have a good after hours. So the NUFC talk event. I mean, the vast majority live in Newcastle of our collaborators anyway. So that would be lovely. We need to sort something out, but it's already time when we need to sort something, man. You're slacking, man.
Well, you haven't given us any dates yet.
Come on, man. We should meet in town for a pint. Hey, Steve, where are you from, mate? Where are you from? What part of Newcastle? We all got to meet up and meet somewhere. What venue can we get in that we can, sort out? And not too large.
Go to Bally's. I'll arrange Bally's or the Strawberry. We can get upstairs in the Strawberry.
Bally's, they do got a little stage type thing where you can just sit there and and kind of, it's like a one-step type of stage, by the way. But either way, I remember seeing that, unless they took it away.
No,
you should try Hooters, Chris. Says Mason. Well, listen, Mighty Win might be rather distracting. So Chris, any venue wins the mayor, man. There you go. Who's the mayor of Newcastle?
Not a clue.
What the heck, man? You're supposed to be living in Newcastle, man. You're a disgrace, man. You are a disgrace. Steve Gotti, I'm in Walls End. We got a lot of people from Walls End. Man. So we definitely sort something out. We gotta look at the itinerary and take a look and see. Match tickets, man. That's my issue, to be honest. I'm debating on which to go, because this is the thing. I want to also do away games over there, so the whole crew can watch the game together, like a watch along. Like, I want to try that. So I thought, I can't get tickets. I probably won't be able to get really tickets to go to St. James's Park. I might, but more than likely, I won't be able to. I would say, I don't know. I may get lucky, but so that's why I thought that I may just book my trip to fit the away games that are going to be Liverpool and PSG back to back. That way we can watch those as a group, having a good time, or just go the week before. I think it's Wolves, Aston Villa, and then there's an away game, I believe. Oh no, PSV and then Aston Villa, I think, something like that. So that week or the next week, which one? Go for home games or for away games. I do see the benefit. I do want to watch the game with the lads having pints, and we need to build our own little set with our own little bar, with our own little pints, and our own little drinks. And since it will be the NUFC Talk TV pub, we can smoke in the house, baby. When we're gonna let you smoke inside. Depends on how you behave. We might not. We might let you get out and smoke outside, according to the rules. But it's something that we might be able to set up. So stay tuned, and there you go. What are the phone? Says Tony T. What are the phone charges for your phone in? As far as I know, none. No phone charges whatsoever. As far as I know, you just call us and no issues. So there you go.
No, it's a 0191 number.
Yeah. No charges whatsoever. We don't want to set that up, of course, and destroy you. Anyway, lads, we got to go, of course. It's been a good one. It's been a lovely show. We'll be back again tomorrow at 10:30 p.m. But remember, tonight, early night show. Actually, no. The Toon Twins at midday UK. No, not midday UK. Sorry. 6 p.m. 6 p.m. The Toon Twins come on for an hour and a half. And then you got the early night show with Gary, Win, and Boki, and whoever else they get. And obviously the late night show starts at 9:30. So back to back shows. We'll see you on the next one, folks. Take care and away the lads.
Away the lads.